We live in, definitely an even more complex world nowadays. So, what kind of leadership is needed to succeed in this new complex environment?
And I guess what we would say is conscious leadership. So, what does that mean? And it's for us, it means that leaders are aware and they really work to enable the other people that they work with to achieve their leadership. So you remove the barriers, um, you're engaged in conversations, you listen deeply, you actually are humble. You are okay with not knowing. It's a few of the ideas that
I think you mentioned, they listen, they ask a lot of questions. And I think sometimes leaders think it's much more complicated than it is. And it actually is this sort of, I would call it deeper awareness of how they're showing up with their employees and with the people that they're working with, because they've peers, they've got colleagues, they've got customers, clients. And how am I showing up with this other human being? How am I treating this other human being with some humanity? That's just been a big theme this year with our clients, reclaiming humanity in their work. And so as a conscious leader, you are choosing to work with other human beings in a way that is compassionate and courageous. And one of the things that asking lots of questions. And we find sometimes in conscious leadership that this notion of courage is really important, because sometimes we have to have difficult conversations that we've been avoiding, but that doesn't mean we have those conversations without caring for the other. So bringing together this strength of knowing who you are and this compassion for other people as productive, capable human beings worthy of trust and worthy of investing your time and energy in together. So
when we are coaching our clients, many of the times leaders have really great assets or really great skills at getting things done. And where they seem to fall down are in the relational parts of it. So how do you continue when you turn and you engage other people and you mentor and develop them? And especially in a complex world, you have to engage other people's ideas. One person cannot know the answer. You have to be listening to multiple perspectives. You have to invite them. You have to make them feel welcome, and then try and experiment with things.
Yeah, this experimenting, Michelle, I think is really important, because you can't take a leadership course, or you don't arrive and know all the answers to how you work with other people. But if you've got this consciousness, awareness, you can see what's happening in interactions, and you can continue to learn from that, from every interaction that you have, from everything that works, from everything that doesn't work as well. And you can do that with a group of people. If you can do that together as a leader in your team, collectively, you can really accomplish significant amounts of difference in your organization. So that's at the heart of conscious leadership, really, this experimenting, learning. Some people call it the growth mindset, but it really shows up very differently than the autocratic, traditional leader that we might have thought about years ago.
But I did a bit of a background research, and there's way back in the late 19th century, it was sort of the leader was a man who was in charge and who knew everything. And it's interesting how, even though we know that kind of leadership doesn't really work effectively, it's still there. It's actually still taught, that great man kind of approach. And the word man is in there intentionally, that how do women lead? And we've been seeing that women naturally lead in that different way, where they're engaging and they're looking at humanity like the other. A lot of men do as well, but and they engage people to achieve the work. And where in the past people were valued for what they produced and for the getting things done, and versus the people call them the soft skills. The conscious leader embraces all of that, and it's authentic. They live their values, they live their authenticity, and being in high relationship and compassion and working in the humanity doesn't mean you just let everything go. It means you hold people accountable to be in their authenticity and to be in their truth, and to achieve the results that need to be achieved together. So and it does take courage to be able to step into that and work from that creative mindset, that creative form of mind.
So a question I think we've been asking the leaders we've been working with and we'll leave with people today is, how are you bringing both the sort of strength and power of your leadership as well as your care, your compassion to your work? And what difference does that make to the people that work with you when you're able to bring those two ways of working with power together with your employees?